Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ralph, and today's video is a quick tutorial on how to patch a big fat bass sound on a modular synthesizer, so stay tuned. Alright, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to demonstrate the patch on my R2600, which is standing behind me. But don't worry, you can apply the patching concept to your own modular synthesizer, provided that you have the same number of modules with the same capabilities on board. You can even apply the patch to a software-based modular synthesizer, such as, of course, the VST version of the 2600. So before we start today's tutorial, listen to the sound that we are going to create. In order to create this sound, you need the following modules on your system. 3 voltage-controlled oscillators. 1, 2, 3. 1 voltage-controlled filter, which allows you to bring in multiple sound sources. Then at least 1 envelope generator, preferably ADSR. Attack, decay, sustain, release. And 1 voltage-controlled amplifier. Moreover, 1 low-frequency oscillator, LFO. In the case of my R2600, the LFO is residing in the keyboard. And it should have a sine waveform, but if you don't have a sine waveform on your LFO, a triangle waveform would do as well. So, now I'm telling you how to set up the oscillators. Before I go ahead, I would like to tell you the R2600 is actually a semi-modular synthesizer. That means it's pre-wired in a standard setup, but you can override the pre-wiring with your own patch cables, and then you can create the sounds according to your imagination and liking. So, okay, we go ahead with the oscillators. The most important thing is that one of your oscillators has the same capabilities as my oscillator number 2. It should have a pulse waveform where you can set the pulse widths. I set the pulse width at 50%. Moreover, your oscillator should have the possibility of modulating the pulse width. I will modulate the pulse width with the LFO. Okay, you tune oscillator number 1, 1 octave below oscillator number 2 and 3. In my case, I'm using a pulse waveform on oscillator number 1. You can detune the oscillator slightly, but don't overdo it. Just a little bit to give it a thicker, bigger, fatter sound. In my case, oscillator number 1 is running on pulse. Oscillator number 2 also on pulse, where I've set the pulse width at 50%. And oscillator number 3 is a sawtooth waveform. And now we come to the important part, which is happening on oscillator number 2. This is oscillator number 2 alone. I modulate the frequency of oscillator number 2 with the pulse waveform of oscillator number 1, which is tuned 1 octave below. Listen. now I also bring in the pulse width modulation. Listen. So, this is just the audio from oscillator number 2. And now I bring in also oscillator number 1 and 3. So this is our final sound. In the case of my ARP 2600, I can also add a little modulation to the filter. And this I'm doing with voltage controlled oscillator number 2. Okay, but this is the basic setup. And now that the sound is ready, we add some chorus, a delay and a reverb to the mix and play everything through an arpeggiator. So listen. Okay, I hope you are now ready to apply this patch to your own modular synthesizer. Please leave a comment and let me know how it worked for you, what kind of results you got, and which system you were using. Maybe you applied the patch to your software modular synthesizer. Anyway, kindly write a comment. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, kindly give me a like and a subscribe. It's highly appreciated. For today, I say goodbye. Keep on making music and have a great day. I see you next time. Until then, peace.